Concentrate fire on the designated target. Let the enemy quake before us.
This is the Ohio, a legendary tier American battleship. It's a Montana-class battleship, but this one has superior secondary batteries, and you can acquire the ship in the store for 15,000 ice crowns. The ship has outstanding main guns, great accuracy, great firepower, just like the Montana. And with that, let's get into the setup of the ship and the commander, who is Willis Lee. Base trait is don't let it spill. Damage control party cooldown time is improved, as is the flooding duration. Inspirations here, we did go with a secondary build, and we have Haruna, which improves the secondary gun range and its dispersion. Then we went with Franz von Hipper, elbow room, which improves the secondary gun range and its shell grouping. Then for the skills, we went with not the one for nuisance, which improves the risk of catching fire and a risk of flooding and torpedo damage to the citadel. Did not go with brawler because I don't want to take a hit on the main battery range. Then we went with porcupine, which improves the secondary gun range, shell grouping, and dispersion. Here we went with on second thought for the third skill, which improves the shell type switching if all main battery guns are fully loaded, and then the main battery reload time is also improved here. And then the last skill is properly meticulous, which improves the secondary battery reload time and enhanced secondary targeting duration. Legendary skill is will to rebuild, which improves the amount of HP recovered. It's 110% because I have Willis Lee maxed out here, but the repair party duration is cut in half, but that's more than compensated for by the amount of HP recovered. The special effect will auto repair when the HP is equal to or less than 20%, and that happens when you are within 3.5 kilometers of an allied ship, and that is at legendary rank 4. And then the upgrades, first upgrade is secondary battery mod 2, which improves the secondary battery firing range and its dispersion. Then we went with propulsion mod 2, which improves the time taken to reach full power. It cuts that in half. Then we went with concealment system mod 1, which improves the detectability range by 10% and improves the incoming fire dispersion by 5%, and that doubles up on your fully upgraded skin or camo. Then, being an American battleship, we went with Artillery Plotting Room Mod 2. We've got the Legendary mod going here. It improves the main battery dispersion, and the Epic Boost will improve the main battery dispersion by another 2% for every 30,000 of damage that you acquire, and that ratchets up 5 times. Then the Legendary Boost, for every ship that you destroy in the match, your main battery shells will deal an extra 5% of damage until the end of the battle. So yeah, we did not go with a secondary mod here. We kind of changed it up a little bit, trying to get the best of both worlds. Loadout, ammunition, high explosive shells, armor piercing shells, which we'll get into in a minute. Damage control party, duration is 20 seconds, reloads every 73.7 seconds, and there's an unlimited number of those consumables. Repair party consumable will partially restore the ship's HP by repairing any light damage at the rate of 1,213 hit points per second. That is pretty good. It's a legendary rank 4. That's what does that, the commander skill. Consumable duration is 14 seconds, reloads every 38 seconds, and there are 3 of these consumables. Then we went with the enhanced secondary targeting, which improves the secondary battery shell grouping by 100%, dispersion by 50%, and the duration is 40 seconds, reloads every 152 seconds, and there are 3 of those consumables. Got the boosters here, but that could change depending on the match. And here we did go with the Ship of the Deep Premium Skin. Sea detectability range and incoming fire dispersion is 4.5% respectively, but the ship does have the historical camo that you can create for 75 buckets of paint if that's the way you want to go. But the $20 skin comes with the ship when you buy it in the store. So, all right, so Specs: survivability hit points is 96,300. Armor is 6 to 541 millimeter, and that 6 millimeter right there is sort of the problem with the Montana. If you get the Montana in the wrong position, it can be a bit of a glass cannon. I've got a video about that on the channel. I'll leave a link down below. Torpedo damage reduction is pretty good at 42%. Artillery is rated at 96, and you have 4 turrets of 2 guns each. Range is 17.5 kilometers. Reloads every 26 seconds. Traverse time is 30 seconds. HE shells have a maximum of 6450 with a 43% chance of setting fire. That's pretty good. AP shells have a maximum of 15,750, and that is awesome. Secondaries, though, this is the show. Firing range is 11.1 kilometers here with this build. They reload every 3.1 seconds. Maximum damage on the HE shells is 1,800. 9% chance of setting fire, and as is typical of just about every American battleship at these high tiers and many American ships in general, the AA defense is rated pretty high. You will definitely clear the sky with the Ohio if you get in a match with an aircraft carrier, and he wants to try to make that happen. That is well over 100 guns, anti-aircraft guns on the Ohio. Wow. All right, maneuverability, 28.8 knots, maximum speed. Turning circle radius is pretty much 1 kilometer. Rudder shift time is 18.6 seconds. Concealment detectability range by sea is 13.8 kilometers. Range by air is 11.6 kilometers. And while you're firing in the smoke is 16 kilometers. And here's the armor view. It's pretty much identical to the Montana, but we'll go ahead and take a look at it here. And this is the Citadel, and yeah, so the top there is a thing that I was looking at in these earlier videos, 17 to 24 millimeters. That is not much of an armor thickness right there. Let's see what the front of the Citadel is. Yeah, sides are pretty good. The front is awesome. You can probably do some bow tanking there, but you got to watch out for that top. If you get a shell that can make it through, let me see, where is it? This guy, you're going to be in a little bit of a problem. Overview: big guns. The ship is armed with high caliber main battery guns. Secondary reach, above average secondary range. Yeah, 11 kilometers is pretty good secondary range. No lie right there. Ironclad, above average armor thickness, greater resistance to all forms of armor, and the armor view did look pretty good. There was a lot of purple and orange armor there. So then for the Ohio, when they were designing the Montana-class battleships, engineers initially considered adding 18-inch guns to increase the firepower. Ohio was developed based on concerns by the General Board that the firepower of the new ships needed to match or surpass that of her foreign opponents, and that probably is like the Yamato and Musashi with those 18-inch guns. Year of design was 1941, and there were no ships in the series. Well, that's it for the setup of the ship and the commander. Let's go out in a standard match and check out a very interesting highlight on Two Brothers. All right, well, here we go. We're on Two Brothers, and yeah, you can see I'm in a division with my fleet mate, Far From Lucan. He's in a Grossiker First, and looking on the red team, we have 3 Grossiker Firsts in a division, and being on Two Brothers, you know that somebody is going to do a push up the middle. So I'm thinking about it at the moment, but I am not going to do a push up the middle. That would be that would be just too much of a highlight reel. We just can't do that. That would be too much of a stereotype. Stereotype would be better. I am not going to go up the middle. In fact, after talking to my division mate here, we decide to go over to the right a little bit and get out of the middle, but you do want to watch for people coming up the middle. So yeah, I'm checking this again because I just can't believe that there are 3 Grossiker Firsts in a division like this. So the nightmare scenario would be if I went up the middle and the 3 Grossiker Firsts on the red team went up the middle. That would not work out that great for For myself, I don't think. So we are going to move over to the right. Here I'm kind of looking over to the right. And unfortunately, that's the way the guns are going to go. So when you go to the right, you want the guns on the other side. Looking around a little bit here. But yeah, the Ohio has outstanding main batteries as well as secondaries. And yeah, if anyone pushes up the middle here, I'm expecting the secondaries would be able to get at whoever comes up the middle over the islands, just on the other side. Once you go over to the right here, there's a Shimakaze. I've got them targeted with my secondaries already, and I have started doing this even on cruisers with a secondary battery, because while they're visible now, when they disappear and they show up later, you're going to be able to have your secondaries go off at them. It's kind of like automatic protection, sort of. So I have started locking the secondaries on remote targets like that quite often. So middle looks clear so far. No problems there. We're going to keep pushing this way, and yeah, going at half speed. A lot of times you do get wiped out if you go out in the middle over here with your big time battleship and let the red team just pummel you out in the open, kind of like what the Marlborough is doing here, I guess. It does seem like he is kind of out in the open. There, we're going to take a shot at him, and we're going to see whether we can get a good score, but he is turning out. So got a minor hit on him for 1,500 damage. Yeah, who says the player base is no good? That guy turned out. That was awesome. He did not leave his broadside vulnerable to us. So, yeah, good for the Marlborough. Very narrow target there. I aim way up because he's moving away. And here comes the Grosse Kurfurst. Ooh, so here's one of the Grosse Kurfurst. The secondaries is starting to get him. And there's another ship there. That's weird. Looks like a bunch of battleships. Wow. Okay, so it can't be the entire Grosse Kurfurst Division, can it? In any event, I had full power to get out of there, and I'm, yeah, now I'm kind of suspecting that it is that entire Grosse Kurfurst Division, and yeah, I am going to hide behind this little outcropping of an island here, because if I don't do that, I am going to get obliterated by the three Grosse Kurfurst. So they were the ones who did the mid push. And my teammate is right behind me. Luckily, he is not going out there very much, I don't think. Nope. Yeah, so if someone would have gone out there with three Grosse Kurfurst, yeah, he's moving in my same general direction. This would have been a bad deal right here. So it was a bold strategy here for these three Grosse Kurfursts. Who knows why they did it? If you got three Grosse Kurfursts, that would make a pretty good highlight video if you can push through here and make it happen. So now I'm backing up just enough to try to get the island indicator to go away so that I have a clear shot, and I do. So this is awesome. We're going to take a shot, and yeah, we got a couple hits. We're up to 76,000 damage already, all within the first 5 minutes. So yeah, the mid push there has allowed us to get some pretty big time damage. So now I'm looking at the lowest health Grosse Kurfurst to try to sort of take that guy out. But they probably all have will to rebuild going, and that's probably going to keep them in business for a while until they start getting wiped out and obliterated. There's some torpedoes going in on those Grosse Kurfurst. So thank goodness for that. Maybe those guys were going to get wiped out here by these torpedoes. They're kind of milling around. They're not all that maneuverable, so they are very likely to get wiped out here. But we're just going to sit here and be happy to take pot shots at these guys. And now that the lead Grosse Kurfurst is down a little bit, yeah, I am not really going forward, even though he's coming back in my direction, coming toward me, not back, but he's coming toward my rear end. And yeah, he gets wiped out by my teammate, Grosse Kurfurst on Grosse Kurfurst. And it looks like 2 of the Grosse Kurfürsts are gone. It's just the 3rd one left. And that did not work out that well for him. So the mid-push on the Grosse Kurfürst division on the red team allowed us to get over 100,000 damage. Right within the first 7 minutes or so of the match, there's only 1 guy left, and we still have a shot on him because the island indicator is still not visible. So he did light us on fire.
Dance like malevolent spirits on the deck.
Well, yeah, we are not going to hit the heal booster just yet, or the fire extinguisher. We're going to let that guy come up a little bit. And yeah, so this guy's going to get obliterated by these other torpedoes here, it looks like. So this is a pretty easy match on a mid-push by the red team Grosse Kurfürst Division. So, all right, so that emergency is over with. See all those torpedoes going up the mid. I'm backing up to see whether the area is clear, whether anyone else is coming up the mid. But now I've decided that the Yamato right here looks like a pretty good target. Yeah, I'm not going to bother with the Neptune, I don't think. But we are going to, yeah, Neptune's taken out. So now I'm going to go after the Yamato. And yeah, if you do this right at the beginning of the match, you are history. And this is one of those matches where one of the teams folded. So from their point of view, their team basically evaporated. And what didn't help them, what probably doomed them, was the mid-push by that Grosse Kurfürst Division, which if it would have worked, it would have been great for them. But it didn't work, and it was good for us. So yeah, so there's my teammate right there that got wiped out by getting out there in the open water. Yeah, I don't know. But we're going to come up over here and basically try to get into it with this Yamato. To me, that looks like just more damage on the table for the taking. So there's the Shimakaze. I have them targeted with my main guns. I've got the Yamato targeted with the secondaries because we are going to close in on that guy, and as soon as we close in, the secondaries are going to start. I've got the secondary booster available, so there the secondaries are taking some shots at the Shimakaze. But we still have the secondaries targeted on the Yamato. There he is. He's sitting behind the island, all real comfortable. And now the secondaries are going, and we hit the secondary booster, and we are just going to go to town on the guy. The Shimakaze is gone, so it's a good thing we didn't try to target him. And we are going to get a bunch of secondary hits here. We're up over 100 secondary hits already. He's backing up. It's probably the only thing he can do. And there is the red team cruiser over to my right. You can see his tracers going over us. Well, he lit us on fire. They didn't go over us there. But he is at the border of the map. And he's doing his best to target us from our last known position. It's a Worcester. So he's going to have a fast reload. But if we can spot him, he should not be around that much longer. We're up to 128,000 damage. So yeah, at the moment the Ohio does have the best of both worlds with outstanding main guns and outstanding secondaries. So at least for now, the ship is dominating in both areas. So let's see if we can get some shots on the Worcester. And here I'm turning all the way over to the right to get all, since my guns were already over on that side of the ship. I didn't want to go the other way because the guns would have taken too long for the guns to traverse. So here we're going to get a couple more shots on the Worcester, and he gets taken out by my teammate. So my teammate had an outstanding game, and that is about it for the Ohio. Outstanding match. It was a thrilling mid-push defense. Big time damage is on the offing, and yeah, you can assume the guns are very accurate, just like the Montana, and secondaries are outstanding, like German secondaries and even Italian secondaries. So if you want to do the secondary build, I found it fun to do the secondary build because the main guns still are as potent as you would expect. So I don't believe you really lose much in the main guns by doing a secondary build. So that's it for the Ohio. Hopefully you got to see a little bit about the ship. Let me know what you think down below. This is the Jaguar, and I'll see you on the high seas. Thanks for watching. Hit subscribe if you like it.
We've destroyed an enemy cruiser. Our fire burns brighter.